Hi everyone, welcome to Tips Tuesday. So today I thought I would talk about meat and histamine. So with meat, it's naturally very low in histamine immediately as the animal is slaughtered, but with time, the natural bacteria that are present in the meat actually create histamine. So the difference between some fresh meat and aged meat, or especially with beef, can be quite dramatic. So if you get a 3, 4, 5 week old aged steak, that is likely to have higher levels of histamine. So what do we do about it? So one of the things we can do is find a butcher near you that you can have a chat with and ask them about where their meat comes from, how long does it take for it to come in, what days does the fresh meat arrive, and ask them if they can do special orders as well. A lot of butchers will do a special order and actually get you meat that is unaged. Now, the safest options that are usually not aged are chicken, of course, because chicken goes off very quickly. Lamb, because lamb is naturally tender, so it doesn't need to be aged. Veal, which is also the same, natural, doesn't need to be aged. And with beef, you can usually find that the mince and the cuts that are called, what do they call them? Casserole steaks, like the chopped diced beef is usually unaged, but that's not a guarantee. You have to talk to the butcher because sometimes they'll buy in a whole aged cow and they'll chop that up and put that out themselves, so it actually still is aged. Now, some butchers as well will freshly mince for you. So if you can find a butcher who'll do that, that is awesome, because when you chop the meat up, it actually gets the histamine levels quicker because the bacteria is more exposed to air. So with things like mince, if you can ask the butcher to mince it then and there, that's wonderful. The other things with meat is buy fresh on the day you're going to cook it and freeze it immediately if you are not going to cook it or if you have leftovers. So same idea applies with meat. If the meat is left sitting in the fridge at home, the bacteria will slowly increase and the histamine levels will increase. So if you leave it overnight and cook it the following day, it's going to have a little more histamine than the day before. Same with leftovers. You cook something, put it in the fridge, and it will increase in histamine. So often a lot of people react to leftovers. If you pop it straight in the freezer as soon as it's cooked, most people can tolerate that and eat that later on. There are still a few people who do struggle with leftovers as well. Too much histamine. But that's meat in a nutshell. A few other basic tips. Obviously, if you do have to buy from a supermarket, go through and look for the use by date that is the furthest away. So get the freshest that you can find. Don't buy pre-sliced chicken breast. Buy a whole one and chop it up yourself. So that'll be lower in histamine. Also, another good tip are kosher butchers. I actually found a really good kosher butcher nearby me that has lots of fresh veal and also gets the food in fresh every day. So if you can find high turnover butchers, kosher butchers can be quite good, and places that will talk with you and tell you when they get the fresh meat in, those are the best options. If they only get it in once a week, go in that day, buy everything, get it into the freezer, and then when it comes time to cook it, just defrost it quite quickly. Don't leave it out on the counter for a whole day to defrost. Ideally, you defrost that fast. So unfortunately, maybe a microwave needs to be used there. Pressure cookers also can cook from frozen really, really quickly. So anyway, there's a load more tips. As you can see, I just keep thinking of more things. But that's the basics of meat in a nutshell. So a reminder, high histamine meat is pork. Pork's very high in histamine, and all fish and seafood. But chicken, turkey, and lamb are the best low histamine options. And with beef, you need to get it unaged. So that's it from me from today. If you want any more information, check out my Happy Without Histamine Facebook page, Instagram. There's a free low histamine foods guide, and also, of course, the meal plan. And coming up soon, as well as the meal plan that you can buy that gives you 4 weeks of recipes, there's going to be a vegan cookbook. I'm working on that and hope to have it out in a few weeks. So see you later. Bye.